my beautiful Gemini peeps, what's going on everybody? It's Sam from CancerMoonsTarot, and I'm coming at y'all with your October 2022 tarot reading. How are you? I hope y'all are well. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and check in with your monthly tarot reading here, and we shall see what is up. So, what do we got going on here for Gemini, please? I got my cards all jumbled up already, so don't mind the sloppy shuffling for today. But what do we got going on here for Gemini, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus zodiacs regarding the month of October 2022. Let's go ahead and begin. What do we got showing up here for Gemini? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus regarding the month of October 2022. Having a look here at the first card out for you, we do got here the Five of Cups. You could be dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. Moving along into the next card for you, we also do have here the Tower. And then having a look here at the last two overall energies, we got here a Wheel of Fortune that's going to be followed up here with a Five of Wands. So taking a look here so far, jumping into your jumping into your October overall, taking a look at these overall energies, Five of Cups here to the Tower. Tower card is massive. Tower card usually represents Scorpio, and it kind of usually represents like the breaking down of a foundation. So I feel like it's going to take a moment of time that you need to break down in order for you to be motivated to take change ahead. Does that make sense, Gemini? I usually feel like that happens for everybody too. It's like when we get in a period of time where we have a breakdown or where we need to break down or where we feel incredibly defeated, that is when we start to come back. That is when we start to rebuild. That's when we start to get ourselves in a better place. So I feel like this might occur here for you jumping into the month of October, but it's not something to worry about or fear. It's more so something to embrace. It's kind of like embrace this moment of breaking down and of going through all this grief and going through all this pain and having that moment to yourself, because once you go through it, it's like, all right, I'm ready here to rebuild. The greatest thing about the Tower is that no matter how badly this tower falls down, this foundation crumbles, there is a brand new tower that's about to be rebuilt out of this, meaning that it's going to be a sturdier structure, meaning that whatever you're rebuilding going forward is going to be 10 times better than what's already fallen. So I feel like that's something pretty important to be acknowledged. Now, taking a look at the Wheel of Fortune, right? Card of change, card of fortune. So I feel that once you have this moment where you kind of just break down and you unfold and, something, whether it is a certain foundation in your life, whether it's a relationship, whether it is a certain chapter in your life, once that comes to an end, I'm ready now here to rebuild, to start fresh, and to start new. But I do feel here that for some of you Geminis, even though that's normally the case, Five of Wands, there still is a little bit of a struggle. And I think that where the struggle lies is being able to accept that the Tower is coming, being able to accept that the Tower moment is happening. There is a difference between embracing the Tower and fighting the Tower. And Five of Wands here says you might be on the side where you're fighting it. So I would be mindful of that, right? The greatest thing about tarot is that tarot is avoidable. What I'm reading right now is current energy. It's your current path, but one slight change that you make, and you can instantaneously change your future because we all have free will. So my advice right off the bat of this reading coming into the month of October is do not fight the Tower. If you embrace it, there could be really significant positive change coming in here for you at this time. Now let's go ahead and have a look here and see what will be coming in here for you. So what's going to be coming in here for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus regarding the month of October 2022? What are we going to have coming in here, please, for the zodiac sign of Gemini? First card out, we do got here the Four of Swords. Four of Swords coming out here for you. Taking a break, taking some time to rest, usually kind of like a moment of reflection for some of you as well. Moving into the next card, we do got here the Three of Wands. And then moving on forward, we also got here the Devil, followed up here with the Two of Swords. So kind of like what I mentioned earlier, if you do so, excuse me, Gemini, I gotta clear my throat. Thank you very much. Allergies are at an all-time high right now, so gotta do what I gotta do. Gemini, if you so choose to continue to fight the Tower moment that's occurring in your life, it's going to make things really difficult. It's going to bring you into a place of stagnation, and that's the last place you want to be. The last place you want to be right now, Gemini, is wanting to be and feel stuck. So Four of Swords here to the Three of Wands, as some sort of foundation in your life is breaking down, as something is coming to an end, it seems to me like Four of Swords, Three of Wands, you're pulling back and you're waiting for things to get fixed, but you're going to be aggravated here with the devil. You're definitely going to be not so happy when you come to find out that this tower isn't falling and then rebuilding in the same structure it used to be. This tower's falling and it's not going to ever be the same. And I think that that's a really tough pill to swallow here with the Two of Swords coming into play, because it's a choice that's pretty hard here to make and to accept. You know, the choice of accepting what's happening here is what really seems to be the primary struggle jumping into your month here. And I know that many of us aren't necessarily happy when tower moments occur in life. I know that sometimes there are structures we wish that were still left standing. And it sucks when we see those structures start to fall in our lives, especially if they were structures that we wanted to have longevity with, but we can't control everything. And I think it's important to remember that. So essentially, it's kind of like, are we going to struggle this month or are we going to let go? And I think that the more we choose to struggle here, the more we're definitely going to be feeling stuck, trapped, unhappy, hoping that this structure can be the same again. But the truth that's going to come here and that's going to come into your realization this month is that something will never be the same. And there isn't something that you can do to change that. You know, let's say that a breakup occurs and somebody else here chose to break up with you. Reasoning behind that of why you can't change that is because that was somebody else's free will choice and you only have control over your own free will. So whatever the case might be here this month, like I mentioned, whether it's a breakup, a chapter of your life coming to an ending, it seems like something that's unavoidable that is having and creating this tower moment. But if you so choose to continue to fight it, you're going to see a lot of struggle, and that's the main thing you want to avoid. And I think that what needs to be talked about more too in these tower moments is the beautiful new tower that you're building. A lot of people don't realize when you rebuild this fallen structure, you're going to rebuild it into something even more secure, even something more sturdy, even something more beautiful. You know, a lot of people are like, well, I had a pretty nice, beautiful tower. Well, guess what? You can build a 5-star hotel instead of the previous tower that you had. You can upgrade the shit out of it. You can make it really, really wonderful. So I think that that's the more positive aspect to focus on. And I know that for many of the, Geminis that are watching right now, this might feel like a little bit of a heavy reading, especially if you're having a hard time kind of accepting whatever ended in your life or whatever chapter has come to a close. But if you can tune and hone in onto the positive perspective of what you can build and what new things can come, you will have an entirely new perspective. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the section here of this reading where we're going to take a look here and see what you might not be aware about this month. All right, so what's going on here for Gemini that they might not be aware about regarding October 2022, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What's going to be going on here for Gemini that they may not be aware about regarding October 2022? Having a look here at the first card out, we do got here the Two of Wands. Moving on into the next card for you, we do got here the King of Swords. And then looking at the last two cards, we got here the Star card followed up here with the Nine of Swords. So Gemini, let's go ahead and talk about it. Well, with the Two of Wands here showing up to the King of Swords, taking a look at what you might not be aware about, you might not be aware that King of Swords, your discipline, or more so your determination in order to keep the pathway open, in order to continue to hold on to the cycle you're holding on to, is not what's going to send you in alignment to your truest happiness. But instead, Nine of Swords, it's going to send you into that energy of anxiety, unhappiness, and overall fear. So I feel like the way the message is showing up here, it's like you don't realize or you don't see how the more you continue to hold on, you don't see the negative repercussions of it. You don't see the deep negative impact it's going to have on you the more you're holding on to this tower when you're really being called to embrace letting go at this time. So I feel like that's probably the number one thing you're not aware about, because it's like you may feel that the more you hold on to this, you can revive it, you can rejuvenate it, you can bring this chapter of your life back, but it's kind of like the reading is saying it's never going to be the same. So the more you fight it, and that's been the main point in this entire reading, right? The more you fight it, the more resistance you're going to experience, and it's not going to be such a fun time for you. And you definitely don't want to go here, Nine of Swords. You don't want to go into that energy where you feel incredibly trapped, helpless, and unhappy when this is 100% avoidable. So I do feel like for many of you, like what you're not aware about is you're not aware about how important it really is to try to let go and to make peace with what's ending, because otherwise you're going to feel really trapped, really unhappy, and it's going to pull you in a low vibrational place that you definitely don't deserve to be involved in. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into the rest of the reading. Excuse me once again, guys. I really do sincerely apologize for having to clear my throat repetitively throughout today's reading. I should probably go make some tea after this, but I thank you anyways for sticking through it. All right, so Let's go ahead over here now and let's see what you can expect going forward throughout the rest of your October 2022. We got the Three of Pentacles coming out already. Moving on to the next card, we do got here the Magician. Moving forward from that, we do got here the Four of Wands. And then lastly for you, Gemini, we do got here the Three of Cups. So taking a look at what can be expected now moving throughout the rest of October, let's start out here with the Three of Pentacles to the Magician card, okay? So Three of Pentacles to the Magician. Three of Pentacles represents working on something. So it does feel to me like you're going to be working on, for many of you, I feel like you're going to be working on letting go and rebuilding the new structure, because if you look closely at the Three of Pentacles too, which is what I actually like a lot, you can see that this individual here is rebuilding something, and it almost kind of looks like he is rebuilding a tower in this background. So I feel that for many of you, you will end up eventually, come to the realization of like, okay, I can't fight what's ending. I kind of just have to accept it. So as hard as it's going to be, I think you'll accept it in the end. And with the Three of Pentacles coming to play here, it's like, all right, it's time to build a new tower. It's time to build a new structure. It's time to build something secure in my life. So Three of Pentacles, you'll be getting to work here. Now, we do have the Magician coming out here for you. Magician, I feel in this situation is representing what is this new thing I want to manifest. So you have to show up here, whatever you want to rebuild, whatever new chapter you want to start in your life, you have to commit to it. You have to invest in it. You have to show up there day in and day out. And I think that many of you will. And taking a look here at the Four of Wands is that energy of stability. So you're going to be moving into a pretty stable place once you come into a place of acceptance. And once you're in this very stable energy of rebuilding your very own tower, it's going to lead to a pretty great amount of happiness here with the Three of Cups. You're going to start to take a lot of joy and pride in the new chapter of your life that you are indeed rebuilding. So like I mentioned, you're not going to see it at first. Nobody ever does. At first, when a tower moment happens, we hate our lives. Life sucks. We think it's the worst. We think the universe hates us. And we're like, there can be no good positive thing that can come from this. But then when we start to move out of that energy of, feeling upset about what it is we've lost, and once we start to accept that something can never be the same again, we start to build better in our lives. And you're going to start to do that here coming into the month of October. And as you're starting to build better in your life, you realize it, you acknowledge it, and it makes you happy because you're like, wow, okay, I'm on a pretty stable new path here. I got a pretty great stable new chapter in my life that is unraveling right in front of me, and it's really, really freaking beautiful, So you're going to end up getting into that energy where you start to rebuild your own tower, and all will be well here from there for you, Gemini. Okay, jumping on into the overall outcome for the month of your October 2022. Excuse me. What's going to be the overall outcome here for Gemini? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus regarding October 2022. And what do we got? We got here the Two of Pentacles followed up here with the Knight of Swords. Absolutely. I feel like Two of Pentacles here to the Knight of Swords is saying, listen, you can choose one path, you can choose the other. I can choose the path here of, always kind of holding on to whatever's never going to be the same here for me. Or I can jump into the path right now of taking action and getting new things completed and starting new journeys and starting new adventures and getting shit done. And that's what the Knight of Swords is all about. Knight of Swords is all about taking action, doing what needs to be done, and making sure that everything you're doing is always within your best interest. So you've acknowledged, you've come to that point where you've reached, I'm doing exactly what I need to be doing right now. I'm letting go of the past here, Six of Cups. I'm letting the tower become something that is now just a memory as I'm now building my brand new future, that I have the ability to do anything that I want with it here. We do got here the Seven of Cups. If this wants to focus, I guess it doesn't want to focus today, but Seven of Cups, regardless though, is a card that represents you can take your new beginning any way you like. You can make it anything you want it to be. It's that energy of kind of like limitless. So, because Seven of Cups is like many choices, many options. So it's like, I can do whatever I want now. The choices are endless, and I'm going to make sure whatever it is that I choose is going to be something that is rightfully amazing and positive for me. And looking at one more card here, we got the Death card. Change is inevitable in life. Death card is all about change, but it's also all about transformation. Not only have things changed, but it's time to go ahead and transform. And what that means here is that if I found happiness in this previous tower in my life, I can rebuild a tower that's even better, and I can transform and transcend my happiness into an even better place, in my life. I can make this an even more crazier and more positive and more happier thing that's fulfilling to me. And by the way, I use crazier in a positive way, right? When something's like insanely good, that's what you're building here right now. So with the Death card coming into play, it's like, I can't just, not only should I just accept the change, but I should transform it. So that's where we're at here for your month of October 2022. pretty much a lot of the same message coming out here. So definitely don't want to keep going deep and repeating things to you, Gemini. I think many of you got the gist here. So I appreciate you tuning in and watching. Hopefully it resonates. Hopefully it helps out here with you. Word to the wise, and a piece of my own advice. Like, I've gone through many moments of this in my life where universe was like, hey, this chapter of your life is ending. And I'm like, no, it's not. And universe is like, well, yeah, it is. And I would say, no, it's not. And I would battle and fight with the tower that is falling. And what that did is it drove me insane. It made me unhappy, and it made me feel trapped and stuck. But then one day I said, you know what, let me just accept this. And when I did, I immediately felt better. I immediately felt relief that I was able to let go of an ending in my life. And I immediately felt motivated to get to work and to start to rebuild my tower and to rebuild something beautiful in my life. And it turned out to be the most wonderful decision I could have ever made, So as much of a struggle as it might be for some of you, as, triggered or irritated some of you might be from hearing this in the beginning of the reading, I think that as long as you let yourself embrace this tower moment and accept the new things you can build going forward, you're going to really look at a fantastic and solid month. But if you keep yourself trapped, if you keep holding on to that tower, which is never going to be the same, by the way, if you continue to do that, you're going to put yourself in a bad position. And that is the last thing that you want to do. So Geminis, I love you very dearly. You're going to get through this. Better structures and towers are going to be built in your life. More amazing things are here to come for you. Just hold on to that. Know that it's happening, and everything's going to be okay. There is so much more to come here for your future that's going to be pretty damn amazing for you. All right, Gemini, I love you all very much. Thank you for tuning in. It's super duper appreciated. If you're new here, definitely do consider subscribing. And with that being said, Gemini, enjoy October, and I will catch you all in the next video. Much love, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.